I think first day was first practice. We had a lot of areas to improve, and that's expected. You know, it's as a coach, right? The old adage, never as good, never as bad. So first practice we gave up a lot of big plays and some explosives, and really that comes down to guys' trust and technique. But it's all the way, you know, across the board on areas we had to improve, and then. Second day, you know, I think we had a better day from a competitive standpoint. I thought we finished practice the right way, so I was pleased with that. I thought we had really good energy and did a better job staying on top, and still had some opportunities out there where we could have finished with getting the ball back, and that's something that, you know, obviously we want to stress is getting the ball back to our offense as quick as we can. But I think 2 days in, I think you know, the buy-in and our guys are, I think, working really hard, want to get a lot better from a scheme, fundamental standpoint. But we hadn't put on pads yet, and real football is played in pads. So don't get it twisted. We've got a long way to go from that standpoint. We got to put on pads and see how we can do then. And obviously, tackling people live and tagging are two different things. So, but all in all, I'm pleased with where we're at 2 days in, and just we've got a long ways to go. But I think we have an eager group of guys that, you know, want to get better and are eager to learn and take coaching. And so excited about this group of guys. I think we've got some really good talent here, and excited to build something with them.
When you talk about that improvement from day one to day two, was that you and your staff asking for more out of your guys, or was that sort of internal from a lot of the players trying to produce more for you?
I think it's just how do you respond to adversity. You know, there didn't need to be anything said. We came up the practice field. I didn't call them up. It was, you know, we gave up too many big plays. You know, I trust our position coaches. You know, I think we have a phenomenal staff. Coach Hundley, I've worked with for 8 years now. We've been really good. He does a great job with our pass game. I trust him unequivocally. So, you know, he's our pass game coordinator, coaches our corners. So it really didn't need to be anything said. We understand it's day one with these guys. We're going to get, you know, we just got to work one day at a time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We don't play a game, you know, for a long time. And so it's about getting better, you know, just each and every day. One rep focus, one play focus, one individual period focus, and just keeping our head down and working. And so, but I was pleased with how our guys responded, and you know, I thought they had a great energy about them. And so yeah, I mean, you know, you've got Coach Thibodeau coaching the D-line, who's done it for a long time, you know, at, you know, really good places, and you know, I've got Coach Niver, who's our special teams coordinator, coaches our safeties. I mean, you know, Coach Coop's done a phenomenal job, and we have a really, really good staff. Our support staff is phenomenal. So for me, it's just about you know, organizational, and you know, you put good people around you, makes your job a whole lot easier. And we've got great coaches. So I'm not a micromanager. I trust the people that we hire, and so yeah, it's not panic after one day. Never as good, never as bad. So, you know, the wise quote I once got was act medium. You know, never too big, never too low. Just, you know, be cool, and you just got to roll to the next drill. And so I thought our kids came out, responded. You know, I think was, if you wanted to say what was the word of the day that I was looking for, was how we were going to respond. And I thought we did improve in that area.
Brian Massey came on a couple blitzes today free, you know, had a high energy with that. And it kind of got me thinking, you know, when it comes to getting pressure on the quarterback, are you really willing to tap into blitz pressures a lot, or is your goal hopefully be like, hey, we get a four-man pressure and really, or is it just an adjusting as you go?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, the term blitz is probably that's a widely used term, but you know, blitz for us is sometimes it's just changing up who the fourth rusher is. So it was, yeah, I mean, I thought he did a good job coming off the edge some today, so I'm excited to see what he can do. We want to be able to be multiple and try to create negative plays on early downs, and that's, you know, when you limit explosive plays and you can stay ahead of the chains, just like offenses try to stay ahead. We want to be into second long, not second and three. You know, 3rd and 1's a tough situation for us to win. So you know, I think our guys, as far as the amount of volume that we've installed right now, have done a nice job. And so I'm pleased with where we're at, and you know, we'll continue to build on it from a technical, tactical, fundamental standpoint.
And just in the secondary, I mean, your guys are going up against a quality receiving room. How much does that help for maybe them to see themselves kind of get burned on some things, and then say, okay, these are the adjustments I need to make against these guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think our wideout core is top 2 to 3, if not, I mean, in this conference. Just from it's been a while since I've coached in this conference, but what I remember the year that we played UCF in the championship game, our wide receiver core here is better than Memphis had and UCF had that year, in my opinion. So I think we've got depth. I think we've got 3 to 4 guys that stress you. I think we have different wideouts. I think we have guys that are like Bo, who are got Rashid's really strong on the ball. Bo, who's just a big catch radius guy. We have quarterbacks that can throw back shoulders. I mean, they can make everything. Both those 2 quarterbacks are as impressive as a quarterback tandem as I've ever seen, between 2 guys, battling out there and competing. So when you have that multiplicity of different guys, different releases, different catch radiuses, different strengths, I think it iron sharpens iron. And so we need our guys to continue to elevate their game, continue to improve, because we want to be the best secondary that they see all season. And that's our goal, is to stress those guys and put those guys in situations where they get to Saturdays, and Saturdays are easy. And it's like Coach Lashley said, we want our offense to line up and know that the defense that they have played has stressed them as much as any defense that they see in our conference, and vice versa. And that's the end goal. We're going to compete against each other. Like, I thought it was great energy today from us and competition. I thought it was great energy from them the other day. But like Coach said, we want to compete against each other, but also take care of each other and love each other and understand that we're in it together. And that's really hard to do. And I think you got to have people that, we all can have egos. We all can, it's competitive, coaches and players, but at the end of the day, when you work for somebody like Coach Lashley, and I get to work with somebody like Casey Woods, who I've worked with before, their quality as good of men as they are coaches, and they're extremely professional, and we're all in it together. And so at the end of the day, we want to walk off the field and make sure that we're always unified as a staff, and show that to our kids within our program. So, because we want them to understand the same thing. There'll be games where the offense doesn't play well, and we're going to have to play great to win a game. Okay, and it's going to be vice versa. It just happens sometimes where we're going to have a game where we're struggling early, and we're going to need them to score points. That's football. I'd love to sit here and say, hey, every game is going to be a shutout, but probably not going to happen. That's going to be the goal. We're going to work towards that. But it's complementary football in all 3 phases.
You got a couple of guys in your linebacker room who transferred in, JaQuondis and Shanon. How important was their history, their familiarity with similar systems to yours, and how much of your interest in them was simply based on their raw physical ability?
Yeah, the system-wise, it didn't matter to me. I pride ourselves, and I would hope that we can get them coached up and developed. Obviously, it's good to have guys that are experienced, though, regardless whether it's 4-3, 3-4, what they've done. They know football. Shannon's played a lot more snaps, obviously, and so I think he's a guy that, you talk about Shanon, he's a great note taker. He is extremely, both of them have very high football IQ, but Shannon's just a guy that's played so much. He can process stuff quick. It's like I always tell a guy, when you're new to the system, and everybody is right now, you might have called something similar to it, whatever you called it. So just remember that, and this is the new term, and then try to eventually drop the new term. You know what I mean? So, because there's going to be some carryover, whether that was for the guys here. I mean, everybody does something similar in some fashion most of the time. So it's just getting them, on the same page from that standpoint. But I think both of them have tremendous upside. I think they had depth and competition in that room. I think Jimmy Phillips, through 2 days, has done a good job. Really pleased with him. I think he's got a lot of upside. And I think the thing about Jimmy that's so exciting as a senior, he's maybe the most coachable kid I've ever had, as far as just stepping in with an older guy. Because, I mean, you talk about a guy that's had multiple D coordinators and played multiple positions, so now it's like, all right, I got to start all over. And he's eager. I think he's 100% bought in and knows that he could be dynamic at this. And so really, really sharp. And then you got a guy like Isaac Slade who's played a lot of college football too, and I think the same thing. So excited about all 4 of those guys. Excited. I think we've got Kiki Burns has a ton of athletic upside, so I'm excited to see what he does when we put the pads on. And then, we got some other quality guys in that room too that, even from a walk-on standpoint, I mean, I told them, we started a true walk-on linebacker against NC State a couple of years ago. So, we're going to play the best players, whether it's scholarship or not. And so I think, I like where we're at from a depth standpoint in that room, adding those guys for sure.
I'm not going to ask you the meaning of it, but I saw Sesame Street cards when you guys were playing. How do you go about choosing what your play call cards are?
It's just a defensive system that we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that we went with. Basically, it's a red light, yellow light, green light system. So, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that sounds good.